Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Gonzalez, and we're going to talk about in this video a few different things about how to improve your posture, which will also help you retain your adjustment longer, help you hold your adjustment longer. Now, the areas we're going to focus on in this video are going to be your anterior head carriage. So a lot of our patients, when they start care, their head is kind of out forward naturally. That's kind of where it hangs out. That's going to be a big, huge problem for the muscles in your neck and upper back. Your head's pretty heavy, so to have it out in front of you, your neck and back have to do quite a bit of work to hold that up. So we'll talk about how to pull your head back on top of your body. Now, some of these postural corrections you're hoping to see, they will happen naturally just by way of the care we provide, because your posture isn't entirely up to you. If it were, then everyone would have perfect posture, and not many people do. So your posture is kind of a blend of what your body's doing naturally to account for some of the fixations in the spine and other areas. That's what we help you with when, in the office. And then your posture also is influenced by some of the things you do day in and day out. Your driving and your desk work and, things of that nature, on your phone a lot, or computer. A lot of our daily activities kind of pull us forward and kind of round us out. So it's important that we spend some time, in the evenings or in the mornings before our day gets started to help our bodies open back up. Just having a posture like this alone in time will cause all kinds of health issues and aches and pains and fatigue. So your posture is important, and like I said, these things we're gonna show you will help correct your posture a little bit, but some of your postural issues aren't entirely due to improper muscle activation. Some of it's due to the issues in your spine that we're working on. So it's kind of going to take both to really correct your posture as much as you might like to see it. So anterior head carriage, we're going to focus on that a little bit. We're also going to look at how we can help improve that rounded out posture that we tend to get, and I'm going to pull that back upright again. Ideally, what you want is you want your head on top of your shoulders. If you're looking at someone from the side, head on shoulders, shoulders on top of hips, right? And you want your hips to be pretty level. A lot of us, because of how much we sit, we tend to have kind of a sway back in our pelvis, and hips kind of tend to angle forward. And there's a different video that I'll show you how to correct that. So the first step is going to be to correct the anterior head carriage. So the chin tuck is going to be our first exercise. Now you can do this a few different ways, and maybe I'll email you some other videos that show you different ways to do it. But in this video, a chin tuck is going to be done where wherever you naturally happen to stand, I want you to be able to use your finger and tuck your chin towards your throat until you feel like your head's on top of your body. It might be uncomfortable. It's not going to be a position you want to walk around in all day, but during the exercise, that will help get your head back where it's supposed to be. So the chin tuck is just simply, as it sounds, just pushing your head back on top of your body and then holding that position. And you're going to feel some strain perhaps in the back of the neck. You probably feel some pressure, some fullness in the throat as you do that. That's going to be important. And the chin tuck is important for a lot of the things that you're going to learn on these videos. And I want you to do the chin tuck before you do anything else. You need to master that kind of move first before we incorporate other things. Okay, so the chin tuck is number one. And for the chin tuck, you can do repetitions. So at a stoplight, or during a break even at your desk, you can do a repetition where you pull it back and you hold it for 10 seconds, or one big long breath and let it go and pull it back again. You can also do it where you hold it for 30 seconds or a minute while you're breathing a little bit. Either way, frequency is going to be one of the most important factors. So doing it once a day for a few minutes might not be as effective as doing it a few times a day in between some of your other activities. Now, once you've done the chin tuck and you kind of get how that feels, the next piece is going to be super important as well for all the shoulder and rounded out posture issues that we tend to get. Now, to do this one, it's best to do it against a wall, I think, but if you don't have enough wall space, you can also do this activity, out in open space, so that's easier for you. Okay, but I'm going to show you against the wall, because the wall helps you keep exactly vertical. If you're out in space, it's hard to tell or hard to feel sometimes where you're at in terms of forward and back. So a wall will help give us some feedback there. So to do this exercise, what you want to do is you want to bring your heels pretty close to the back of the wall. They don't have to be touching, but they should be within an inch or two. And then you want to kind of feel the weight carried evenly in both your feet. You should feel both the ball of your feet and the heels should be firmly planted in the ground. And then you're going to kind of lean back, and I want you to put your glute, your butt against the wall. Your shoulder blades should feel against the wall. Okay. The back of your hands, I want those against the wall. And then from this position, your head might be still off the wall a little bit. So from here, I want you to tuck that chin back. You can use one of your hands. Don't lean your head back to get it against the wall. Tuck your chin back to get it against the wall. Okay. Now I'm here. Now I'm pretty much standing exactly vertical. And from this position, we're going to be focusing on moving our hands slowly up the wall. So they're going to start in this down and out position with the back of my hands against the wall. The back of my forearms are also against the wall. And this right here can be therapeutic. So if you just hold this with a little bit of pressure from the back of your hands, a little bit of pressure against the back of the wall, almost like you're trying to push the wall over, even though you can't. But that's kind of what you want to be thinking about. Holding this for 30 seconds or 60 seconds would be helpful, and then you can come off of it and then get back into it again, okay? But what I really want you to focus on is once you're here, I want you to slide your hands up the wall while keeping them against the wall into a bit of a W. And just getting your hands up there might be quite challenging, especially if you're trying to keep them against the wall the whole time. If you have to pull them out a little bit, that's fine. Eventually you'll get to the point where you can keep them against the wall. But slowly slide them up into a bit of a W shape while your head's pinned here. And again, hold this for a good 30 seconds, 60 seconds. You can set a timer on your phone. And what you're going to feel a lot of pulling in the chest area. You might even feel some strain or some tension in the shoulder. And what you're doing is you're unwinding that tension. You're using the muscles in the back of your body. And while you're using those, these front muscles won't be as contracted. And that's a good way to stretch them. In fact, on that point, we've seen through research that static stretching, where you just sort of hold your body out and just kind of bend forward, or passively stretch something in the door. Those passive stretches aren't as effective for changing the muscle length or changing the muscle tone as active stretches are. And this is an active stretch. So to stretch this part out, we're not just leaning up against the door, we're stretching this by firing the other muscles. Okay, so that's how the body likes to be. That's how a more effective way to change the length of certain muscles is use the opposite muscles, and then the ones that are too tight will naturally get a bit longer and have a better chance of staying that way. Okay. So again, back to our position. You're going to go from a W position, and then you're going to go up to a Y. Okay. And you can, again, putting a little bit of pressure going backwards. And then from a Y, you can go down to a goalpost position. And you can hold that there for a bit, trying to get your arms and your shoulders level. And when you bring your shoulders up, or your hands up, try not to tuck your shoulders up against your ear. Try to keep your neck and your shoulders kind of separated. And then from this Y, or from the goalpost position, you can go to a T. Okay, you can go back down to a W. And you're just going to kind of be cycling through these positions, and you'll find certain, I guess what I call sticky points. There are certain positions where one shoulder or one arm really feels like that, kind of more of that burning, pulling sensation. When you find a sticky point, kind of hang out there a little bit and breathe into it. Try to relax, because that's, your body's telling you this is a position where you have a lot of tension or fixations, and you're going to want to work that out. Okay. So again, just a quick reminder, everything's pushed against the wall. The back of your hands, always a bit of pressure going backwards. Okay. Your chin is tucked, not tilted back. That's how you're getting the back of your head against the wall. And you're just going to be sliding through these positions, holding each one for maybe a count of 5 or a count of 10, and find the sticky ones. And when you find a sticky position where it really seems to burn and stretch, hold out there for a bit longer. And then when you're done, you just come away from the wall. And you'll feel, as soon as you're away from the wall, you'll feel like you're standing up straighter. Okay. It won't last forever. You're going to have to keep doing this over and over again. But because you're also sitting and typing and texting, you're doing things every day that are pulling you forward. So you also need to get used to the idea of doing something every day to pull you back up and just remain, or help your body retain that balance. Okay.